This is part 2, episode 78. After Old Man Who finished speaking, he grabbed Shuluo and teleported to the west. Chiao Siping clenched his teeth and quickly followed with a teleport as well. The only one left was the beautiful Yun Meng. She walked up to Wang Lin and whispered, "Many thanks, senior." Wang Lin remained calm. He grabbed her and felt her slim waist. He still remained calm and said, "Close your eyes." The woman quickly closed her eyes, but her face was slightly red. She had never been this close to a man before. Wang Lin's scent entered her nose, causing her face to become even redder. After grabbing her, Wang Lin took a step and disappeared. The woman felt the wind blowing by her ears like a knife along with waves of spiritual energy, but the wind soon disappeared. The woman's eyelashes trembled as she opened her eyes. She saw a gentle, blue light covering her body, protecting her from the raging wind. She secretly raised her head to look at Wang Lin. Although he wasn't handsome, there was a mysterious aura around him. This was a mysterious change that happened to all soul formation cultivators. This change depended on the domain they obtained. While flying, Wang Lin noticed the woman's gaze, but he didn't look down. His eyes were focused on Chiao Siping. The distance between him and Old Man Who kept on widening. With Chiao Siping's cultivation, there was no way for him to keep up with a soul formation cultivator. There was a trace of anxiety in Chiao Siping's eyes. When he saw Wang Lin catching up, he quickly said, "Brother Wang, help me, help me. I'm willing to give you treasures in exchange." Wang Lin originally didn't want to bother with him. After all, they weren't that familiar with each other. However, when he heard treasures, he recalled back to when he followed Chiao Siping to that underground cave. That cave was filled with ancient texts, things a normal person wouldn't have. He slapped his bag of holding and the mosquito beast flew out. After Wang Lin gave it a command, the mosquito beast put Chiao Siping on its back. However, there was a hint of dissatisfaction in its eyes. It clearly didn't think Chiao Siping was worthy of sitting on its back. Chiao Siping let out a sigh of relief. Although the mosquito beast was slower than a soul formation cultivator, it was able to just barely keep up. He quickly took out a pair of bells from his bag of holding and said, "Brother Wang, I obtained this by accident." It was inside a beast. It should be a treasure from ancient times, but my cultivation level is too low to fully understand it. However, I swear that this treasure is not ordinary. I hope that Brother Wang allows me to cultivate under the reincarnation tree later. With that, he threw the bells toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin caught the bells and found that there was a restriction on the bells. Until he breaks the restriction, he won't be able to get a better look. He didn't have time for this, so he put it away. Just at this moment, two rays of black light came from the distance. They turned into two giant faces. One went toward Old Man Who while the other one went toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He waved his right hand and the celestial sword quickly appeared in his grasp. He swung in the air and a ray of sword energy quickly slashed down on the face. The swing didn't even make Wang Lin pause. Instead, he started moving even faster. A large amount of black gas gathered in front of the face to form a big tattoo, to block against the sword energy. The tattoo collided with the sword energy with a bang. The tattoo shattered and the sword energy dissipated. A person walked out of the resulting smoke. His hair was white, his eyes were gloomy, and on his right eye there was a fresh wound that was bleeding. He touched his wound, licked his finger, and then chased after Wang Lin. Wang Lin frowned. He was only injured and didn't die. That means he must be a six-leaf savage, which is about as powerful as a late-stage soul formation cultivator. Old Man Who was ahead of him, was in a sorry state. He had to stop and start exchanging moves with the old woman that came out of the face. He had to protect Shuluo while fighting her, but he was only at the mid-stage of soul formation, so he was constantly being pushed back and was met with many dangers. Turtle Beast. After Old Man Who shouted, the giant turtle suddenly appeared and started fighting the old woman along with Old Man Who. The moment the old woman saw the turtle beast, her eyes lit up. She gave up on fighting Old Man Who and charged toward the turtle beast instead. The white-haired old man that was chasing Wang Lin also looked toward the turtle beast with greed in his eyes. He looked at the old woman before ditching Wang Lin and charged toward the turtle beast. In his eyes, compared to chasing after an outsider, it was better to go after that beast's blood to make his tattoos even stronger. As for the mosquito beast, it was ignored by both of them. To them, the mosquito beast had no value. Wang Lin quickly passed Old Man Hu and shouted, "Fellow cultivator Hu, don't hesitate. There won't just be two savages here. If we fight any longer, more will arrive. Let's go." Old Man Hu stared at the turtle beast being attacked by the two savages. His eyes were filled with reluctance. However, that reluctance was suppressed by him as he quickly flew away. He had no choice when he saw 3 more rays of black light quickly flying toward their location. Old Man Hu said, "West, the reincarnation tree is to the west." The 3rd floor was a lot smaller than the first 2 floors. After they arrived at the western end, they spread out their divine senses. Old Man Hu's eyes suddenly became focused. "It's over there." Wang Lin spread out his divine sense and saw the already wilted tree Old Man Hu was talking about. This tree wasn't very large. It was only as thick as a person's arm. The tree was all by itself and there were no leaves on it. It looked no different from any other tree. However, it was the only tree in the 3rd floor. Old Man Hu stood under the tree and said, with a heavy voice, "I have been here before and have never seen any tree on the 3rd floor. If it wasn't for Zixin's jade, I really wouldn't have believed that there was a reincarnation tree here." Qiu Siping finally arrived as well. When they got close, the mosquito beast threw him to the ground and returned to Wang Lin's side. Qiu Siping didn't mind. He teleported next to the tree. He was very excited and was about to sit down to cultivate under the tree when Old Man Hu looked at him and frowned. Qiu Siping's heart trembled and then he quickly looked at Wang Lin. Wang Lin slowly said, "Let him cultivate." Cultivating is a heaven-defying act to begin with, and since he had the fate to arrive here, we shouldn't interfere. Old Man Hu didn't speak, but looked toward Shuluo and Yunmeng. The 2 of them quickly went under the tree and sat down on either side of it. Qiu Siping looked at Wang Lin with gratitude in his eyes before quickly focusing on cultivating. He knew that time was short. Whether or not he would be able to reach the soul formation stage in the future all depended on the results of today. Old Man Hu said, "Brother Wang, Shuluo and Yunmeng will need 3 hours to make the reincarnation tree bear fruit. We'll have to guard them during that time." Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he said, "I wonder how many reincarnation fruits will appear." Old Man Hu looked at Wang Lin. He pondered for a bit and said, "There should be at least 2. If it is 2, we will each get 1, but if there are 3, then I'll have to take the extra 1. After all, it is my treasure refining pavilion's people who are giving up their lives. I hope Brother Wang understands." Wang Lin pointed at the reincarnation tree and said, "That is fine, but the branches of the reincarnation tree belong to me." Old Man Hu laughed. "Ha ha, no problem." He secretly sneered. This reincarnation tree was already wilted. It will be useless after being forced to bear fruit, so there was no problem in giving it to Wang Lin. Wang Lin nodded. He took a step forward and grabbed a branch. Old Man Hu's expression changed as he shouted, "Fellow cultivator Wang, what are you doing?" Wang Lin looked at Old Man Hu and said, "Since these branches belong to me, why does it matter if I take some now?" Old Man Hu was startled. He was about to speak when Wang Lin broke off a large section. He put away the branch inside his bag of holding and sat down to cultivate. Old Man Hu pondered a bit. Thinking about Wang Lin's fame and that sword, he didn't say anything. Instead, he sat down and smiled. "Brother Wang, please don't misunderstand. If you just take a part of it, that is fine, but it might result in fewer reincarnation fruits." Wang Lin looked at Old Man Hu but didn't speak. His hands moved, causing restrictions to appear. The restrictions landed nearby. Wang Lin's hands gradually moved faster, creating more restrictions. Old Man Hu's eyes lit up. After pondering a bit, he took out 16 small flags and scattered them. After they landed, the flags emitted purple lights, as if they were calling out to each other. The restrictions kept on coming out of Wang Lin's hand. After 99 restrictions were placed, he took out the restriction flag, which turned into a cloud of black fog. The fog quickly surrounded the area. Mysterious. Old man, whose eyes lit up as he slapped his bag of holding. 5 black sickles appeared in front of him. There was a powerful smell of blood coming from the sickles. When the sickles appeared, the countless souls trapped inside them tried to escape. Old man, who waved his hand and the 5 black sickles sank into the black fog. Time slowly passed. The 3rd floor was completely quiet. There was a milky white aura going from Shuluo's and Yunmeng's heads into the reincarnation tree. Their faces changed between white and red. They seemed to be in some pain. As time passed, the milky white aura became even thicker above their heads. But the reincarnation tree didn't change at all. The white aura going into the reincarnation tree didn't seem to have done anything. Even when checking with one's divine sense, one wouldn't find where that white aura was going. Shuluo's appearance no longer remained young, he slowly aged. Wrinkles appeared on his forehead, and his black hair had turned grey. Young Meng was the same. Her cute and young face gradually turned into that of a grown woman's. However, her beauty not decrease. She gained the charm of a mature woman. Time slowly passed. Shuluo and Yunmeng became even older. Their skin lost their luster, and it looked like their lives were disappearing along with the white aura. 3 yellow dots eventually appeared at the top of the reincarnation tree. The 3 yellow dots became brighter and brighter, like they contained an endless supply of this mysterious power. Old man, whose eyes lit up, and he said, 3 reincarnation fruits. Just at this moment, a blinding, yellow light appeared from the reincarnation tree. A pillar of yellow light shot into the sky. The yellow light broke through the clouds of the 3rd floor, and created a yellow ring that spread out. The longer the pillar of light held up, the wider the ring expanded. The ring of yellow light was about 1,000 feet wide, so everyone on the 3rd floor would notice it. More rings of yellow light appeared. Lines extended from the rings, connecting them to each other until they reached the pillar. This made the pillar look like a giant tree trunk. Then, more lines extended off the rings, forming branches and leaves until there was a large tree that pierced into the sky. A giant reincarnation tree that looked like it was holding up the sky on the 3rd floor suddenly appeared before everyone. This wasn't a real tree, but an illusion. However, the appearance of this illusion caused every savage in the area to stop what they were doing and look at the tree before madly rushing toward it. Wang Lin raised his head. His heart sank. This tree would definitely attract the attention of all the savages here. A big battle was coming. Should he leave now and not wait for the reincarnation fruit, or wait for the reincarnation fruit and fight? Wang Lin pondered for a bit, and then his eyes sparkled. Just at this moment, 8 rays of black light arrived in the horizon, and turned into 8 old men. They quickly activated the power of their tattoos, and charged toward the people under the tree. The outermost restrictions set by Wang Lin activated, forming a turtle shell-shaped shield that covered 300 feet of the tree. The power of the 8 old men smashed into the shield, causing a huge explosion. Bang! Bang! Under the continuous attacks, the restrictions were destroyed layer by layer. Old man, who formed a seal, and shot out a few rays of spiritual energy. The energy entered the 16 flags, and then 16 ghost-like things flew out of them. These 16 ghosts gathered together to form a black storm. Power surged through the storm and slammed into the 8 people attacking the formation, knocking them back several meters. Old man, who took a deep breath. He closed his eyes and quickly activated the technique in his hand. Wang Lin's eyes lit up, and then he pointed at the 8 of them. The remaining restrictions formed a giant hand that reached toward them. One of the 8 was immediately caught. Wang Lin's eyes sparkled and he whispered, "Explode." With a bang, the hand shattered along with the person inside into a shower of blood and flesh. Wang Lin pointed with his finger again, and the shattered hand reformed. These savages hadn't reached the 5-leaf stage. They only had 4 leaves, so they were like nascent soul cultivators. Just at this moment, another ray of black light came from the distance. There was a giant face within the black light, and it was covered with tattoos. "Brother Wang, protect them for me while I go outside and fight them." Old Man, who walked out of the layers of restrictions and began to fight with the savages. Half an hour later, Old Man, who came back in with his face gloomy and 2 wounds on his body. He was a mess. After he came back in, he sat down and said, "I killed them, but 2 more came. I can't beat them." Wang Lin stood up and walked out. Just as he walked out of the restriction, he saw 2 old men holding a chain made of their tattoos. They were attacking the black storm created by the 16 flags. Every time the chain hit the storm, there was a series of crackling sounds. The moment Wang Lin appeared, one of the old men's eyes lit up. The tattoo chain he was holding shook and came toward Wang Lin like a long snake. A sonic boom came along with the tattoo chain. Wang Lin could also feel the soul of a dragon roaring inside the chain. Wang Lin remained calm and reached out. The surrounding black fog gathered to form a lance. Wang Lin grabbed the lance and jabbed it toward the tattoo chain. Bang! The lance collapsed and cracks appeared on the chain before it shattered into individual tattoos. The savage old man's eyes became serious. He let out a roar and took out a red beast skin. The beast skin caught on fire and turned into a large iron pan. The moment the iron pan appeared, the shattered tattoo quickly gathered in the iron pan. Wang Lin raised his right hand and another lance appeared in his hand, then he charged out like lightning. There was dread in the old man's eyes as he stood on top of the iron pan. He chanted a complicated spell, and then the iron pan suddenly grew to the size of a small mountain. The old man flew up with the iron pan and dodged Wang Lin's lance. Then the iron pan smashed down from the sky. Before Wang Lin could move away, countless cracks appeared under his feet. His body was being suppressed by an invisible force, causing him to slow down. At the same time, the other savage turned toward Wang Lin and let out a cruel smile. He waved his arm and the tattoos flew off his hand, stacked together, and flew toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin's eyes were still calm. He opened his arms and said, "Restriction wall, appear." Countless lances, made out of restriction gas, shot out from the fog toward the tattoos the savage had thrown out. At the same time, Wang Lin touched his bag of holding to take out the celestial sword. With both of his hands, he swung the sword toward the sky. A ray of sword energy shot out and collided with the iron pan. The iron pan trembled and countless cracks appeared on it. The old man standing on it coughed out blood. His eyes were filled with shock. However, he let out a ferocious roar right after. Then 5 leaves appeared on his head and quickly covered his whole body. The leaf went down his feet and into the iron pan, sealing up the cracks. The iron pan regained its shine and smashed down again. He was only 200 feet from Wang Lin. Wang Lin's eyes became cold. Without hesitation, he threw the celestial sword into the air. The celestial sword charged through the iron pan like it was cutting through paper. The old man was shocked as he was split in half. Blood splattered everywhere. The restriction on Wang Lin disappeared. He opened his mouth and a stamp flew out of it, smashing toward the other savage, as he was fighting against the countless lances. That savage's expression changed and suddenly a beast skin appeared in his hand. The beast skin formed a giant hand that smashed into the stamp. Wang Lin snorted. He moved forward, touched his bag of holding, and a bell appeared in his hand. He threw the golden bell at the savage. The savage was already going crazy, as he was dealing with the lance and the stamp. Just as he was about to take out another beast skin, he was swallowed by the bell. Wang Lin waved his right hand and the bell returned to him. He then quickly sealed the bell. As he put it away, he could still hear ringing from the bell. Wang Lin retrieved the celestial sword and black stamp before going back into the restriction. After he was back inside, the surroundings became quiet, leaving behind only the bloody remains of the battle. Inside the restriction, Old Man, who sat under the reincarnation tree with dread in his eyes toward Wang Lin. After witnessing that battle, his dread toward Wang Lin became even stronger. How much more time? Wang Lin looked at the reincarnation tree. The 3 dots were now fist-sized. Old Man Who confidently said, "Soon, just half an hour more and the fruits will be ready." Wang Lin said, "That's too long. Those were only 5-leaf shamans, not 6-leaf shamans, who are equivalent to soul formation cultivators. I can hold one of them back, but if 2 come, I won't be able to do much. There are also 7-leaf shamans here. They are the same as soul transformation cultivators." Old Man Whose expression became gloomy. Just as he was about to speak, his expression changed greatly. Wang Lin let out a sigh and looked over. In the distance, 20 rays of black light were heading their way. 6 of those black lights contained giant faces. The 2 in the front were especially big. The black lights they gave off were like raging demonic flames. 6-leaf tattoos would constantly appear and disappear on their foreheads. After they arrived at the restriction, they all took human shape. The 2 6-leaf shamans at the front were the same 2 that chased Wang Lin and Old Man Who but were lured away by the turtle beast. There were a few more tattoos on the old woman, as well as traces of red on her body. The absorption process had clearly just finished. She let out a smile as her withered hand reached forward. The already weakened dark storm shattered. The 16 ghosts dissipated and the 16 flags shattered. This video will end here.